Good evening, dear students. You are most welcome in your own YouTube channel Learning with Rajesh. In Geography 10th class, we have started lesson number 1 and 2 and completed also. So in Geography, you completed 2 lessons, and now today we are going to start lesson number 3 of Geography named as Water Resources. As you know that water is very essential for human being, and in this lesson we shall read about the water resources, the major fact related to the water resources, and then we shall study about the meaning of uh, why the water is a renewable resources, and we shall read about the water scarcity today and how can we solve this problem of water scarcity. Now the first point of today is introduction to the lesson. So the first point is 3/4 of the earth covered with water. You learned this topic in 6th class NCERT that near about 70% of the earth is covered with water. And on the other hand, there is plenty of water on the earth, but only 1% is fresh water on the earth. And fresh water sources are underground water and surface drainage. So it means you can get the fresh water from these two sources, underground water, and you know that there are hand pumps and tube wells, etc. So from that you can get the underground water and surface drainage in the form of rivers, etc. And now the next point is 96.5% water lies in oceans. You know that there are major oceans in the world, and 96.5% of the total water is lies in oceans. So that's why we can say that there is no plenty of water on the earth which is fresh water. 1.5% fresh water lies in Antarctica, Greenland, and glaciers. So you can say that in Antarctica and Greenland we can't go and we can't use the this type of fresh water for drinking and other purposes. And glaciers are also not valuable for us for drinking purpose. And the next point is India gets 4% of world precipitation. So you know that precipitation means coming of the water from the clouds is known as precipitation, whether it is hailstorm or whether it is rain. The next point is up to 2025 there will be great problem of water in India according to United Nations. So United Nations told that there will be great scarcity of water in India up to 2025. So that's why we can conserve the water for our future generation. So the next point of the lesson is water a renewable source. You know that water is a renewable source. In the lesson number 1, we learned about the meaning of renewable source. Renewable means which can be supplied easily. We can be supplied easily. Water can be supplied, but you can say that or you can imagine that water's source is not cannot be expanded. So there is 1% fresh water on the earth, it cannot be decreased or increased. So that's why it is renewable, but on the other hand we have scarcity of water. So how is water renewable resource? The second point of today is it is renewed with the help of hydrological cycle. I think you know this point earlier. So you also learned this topic in science also. So you know that in hydrological cycle, so there is evaporation and next condensation and next precipitation. This is the hydrological cycle of the water. You know that first one is evaporation process, and the next one is condensation process, and the final is precipitation process. And now this process acts again and again. So that's why we can say that water is a renewable resource. I think you got this point. And the next point, water is a renewable source. On the other hand, water scarcity is there. So first one, we should know about the meaning of water scarcity. Water scarcity means it occurs when people do not get adequate water for use. As you know that we are facing this problem nowadays in the world. People have water scarcity because they are not getting adequate water for use, for drinking and for irrigation or whatever the purpose is, they are not getting the adequate water. It means when we are not getting the adequate water for use, it's known as water scarcity. I think you got this point. And the next one is reasons of water scarcity. Why we are facing this problem of water scarcity? The first one is unequally distributed. Water is unequally distributed. So you can imagine that there is plenty of water in Delhi, but one part of Delhi is facing the water scarcity because the water is unequally distributed among the people. So that's why we are facing the water scarcity. I think you got the first point. And the next is water pollution. Only 1% of water, fresh water is there on the earth, but 1% from the one part of means the some part of 1% is also polluted with our bad practices. So next point is overuse of water. So when we have plenty of water, we are going to use it in plenty of purposes. So that's why we are losing or we are facing the water scarcity. And the next point is wastage of water. Wastage of water is there, you can imagine, in the villages of India. So when there is plenty of water, we are wasting it, not imagining that or not focusing that what will the next generation do with when there will be no water. And the next is increasing population. You know that water is only 1% from the ancient time and in the modern time also. So and on the other hand, population is increasing. There was not too much population in the ancient time, and now the population goes the plenty of, or means the number of times is added in the population. But on the other hand, water is only 1% fresh water there. So that's why we are facing the water scarcity. So next is increasing in industries. You know that this is the age of industrialization, and increasing in the industries may cause the water scarcity because we need a lot of plenty of water for setting up industries. So that's why we can say that these are the main reasons of water scarcity, and you can imagine that there will be a major important point of the lesson is there will be a question in exam. So there can be in CBSE, you know that there can be a separate question that increasing in industries is the major problem of water scarcity. So justify the statement, and you can tell that increasing in industries is also the major problem of water scarcity in India, because lot of MNCs are setting up their industries in India. MNC, you know, multinational companies are there setting up industries, and for setting up industries we need a lot of plenty of water, and when after the use of this water is polluted. So you can say that the industries are also responsible for water scarcity. And the next point is how can we solve the problem of water scarcity? So we can solve the problem of water scarcity by saving water. Saving water. So you use it carefully. Saving water means use it carefully and use it accordingly. It means when we don't have a plenty of use or means need, don't use it excess. And the next is no wastage. No wastage, please. If we have lot of water, don't waste it. So you can save it. So you can close the tap while using, after the using. And now water harvesting is the major point of major concern of today's modern world. We should harvest water. When there is plenty of rain in the village area or in the city area, there is no water harvesting, and after that we are facing water scarcity. So that's why we should harvest the water and growing more and more trees. You know that while we grow more and more trees, it will affect the rain, and there will be plenty of rain and we can harvest water, and that's why, or mean in this case, we can solve the water scarcity. I think you got all the points easily. We learned only 4-5 points today. First one, introduction, and the next one, why is water renewable resource? You know that hydrological cycle justify or means the provide the water. And the next one is meaning of water scarcity and why water scarcity. And in the last we learned about the how can we solve the problem of water scarcity. I think you got all the points of the lesson of the today's video easily. If you enjoyed this session, please subscribe, like and share also. Thank you and have a nice evening.